Alrighty, let's see. Mic is on. Yep. Testing, testing. And we are good to go. Almost forgot to get my mic on, but okay. Here is how my palette's looking so far. This is the second palette. The first one I have somewhere strewn around the studio. Alrighty, what am I gonna do today? I can keep working on the horse. I think I might do... I don't know, what do I want to do? Do I want to work on the mountains? I think I might, but it's so dark in here. Let me mess around with my studio lights for a bit. Or maybe perhaps I can, well, these, I don't know if these lights are like turned up all the way. I keep having this issue with glare. So hopefully, oh, okay. That kind of, let's see. Okay, that's a lot better. I was kind of like, you know, I can't really see the vibrancy of the colors. I feel like it might be a little too overexposed. For the video, anyway. Okay, I think I'll just leave it there. Okay, we'll leave it there for now. It's so important to have good lighting. Otherwise, you're painting blind. What should I work on? I'm not gonna touch this guy for now. Shall I do the hills? I think I'm gonna work on the grass. Okay, let's start with this. This is light green. And I'm gonna give this a try. This is sap green. It's like an yellow green.
Do you remember me?
Oh, hey, what's up? How was your Thanksgiving?
Good.
Thank you for sharing. Let's see, do I want this size brush? Maybe this. Yeah, I think I'll go with this one.
It's 2:41 a.m. for me right now.
Oh, wow. That's pretty... Well, depends on who you ask. Either early or late. You must be in... maybe the middle? Right? The mountain zone? I normally go to sleep at 2 a.m. But I'm on the West Coast, so... it's not time for me. So I ended up seeing Zootopia. It was amazing. I loved it. I actually like it more than the first one, believe it or not. Although it's been a while since I've seen the first part. The jokes hit, everything was great. There was a lot of references too in the movie. But I will not spoil any surprises. Overall, had a great time. Okay, so this is gonna be pretty light over here. Let me just cover up this for now. I will repaint the road once I'm ready. But for now, I think I'm just gonna cover this. And that will be the last of my base color. So no more yellow. It was a little experiment to start off with a yellow canvas, but it's not bad. Especially when I have so much green grass. So I'm just kind of filling in the areas for the trees. This area is going to be like filled with light, so Just establishing my values. Yeah, this whole area is like shadow. But I will give it another layer. Because I can still see...
Have you drawn anything Deltarune? Undertale?
Nope. But I have heard of Undertale. I have a Silk Song piece that I'm working on for my husband. Since I painted Hollow Knight for him. So he requested the sequel. But I can paint pretty much anything. I might need to go back and lighten this up a little bit. Oh well. Da, 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 da. Let me spritz my palette. There we go. Don't want my paints drying out. I should probably get like a bigger brush for this area. I'm liking the texture of the grass. It's, you know, quite interesting. Wonder why it said no sound. That's weird. What does it say over here? Do. Okay. Let's see. This seems big enough. Pew 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 pew. Oh, this is a beautiful color. Sap green, eh? Yep. This is gonna be great. Ah, yes. It's very nice. Kind of just creating some pockets. Grass is always a pain in the butt because you have to like layer so much. Just kind of letting my intuition take over and figure out what shapes, colors I have to push through. Entering that state of flow with the canvas. It's a little darker on this side. I do love this color. It's kind of what I really needed. A little bit of green. There's also yellow that I need to add. Let me grab the yellow. Like right around here, there's yellow. I feel like it needs maybe brighter yellow. Yeah, this is not quite the color I need. Maybe if I add a teeny bit of lemon. Then I will get the color that I need. Fingers crossed. Where is my little spatula thing? There we go. I need to get in the habit of using these things. It's easier to clean the palette knife off. So like right now, oops, where is it? There we go. It's kind of hard to tell because everything's so exposed from the lights. But I'm mixing kind of like a golden sand yellow with lemon yellow. And hopefully this will be the exact shade that I need for the kind of burnt areas typical of grass. One thing I like about using palette knives is that you can just kind of scrape and, you know, really incorporate the paint really well. And you don't really lose any of it either. Alright. So I just kind of scrape. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, let's test out how this is gonna react. There we go. That's how we do it. Alright, let me clean off my other brush. So what I might do is put the little patches of yellow on the grass. I can barely hear my music. There you go. Let me water this down. Alrighty. So I started watching the show Frieren on Crunchy, and I really like it. I don't recall how far. I think I might be like 6 episodes in. But I really enjoy the show. It's like very introspective, and the some of the questions that the show asks about, like, legacy and, like, what is the whole point of existing for, like, essentially hundreds and hundreds of years if you just kind of don't keep yourself busy. So the show's protagonist is an elf, and she lives for like thousands of years. It's sort of like a vampire story if you really think about it, because, like, what do you do with all your time if time becomes essentially stretched for all of eternity? And it's so interesting to see how she becomes somewhat apathetic in the beginning. Again, I don't know where the story is gonna go, but I think she finds a reason to kind of keep on, to find meaning. It's very existential. For anyone that's interested in existential psychology, I would say this is your show, I don't know if I've seen many, almost philosophical animes like this. I mean, your typical shonen occasionally has some lessons thrown in, but yeah, it's really great. The character development is amazing. But yeah, I do feel very much that the show is vampire coded. It's like, hey, guess what it's like to live for almost ever. What are you gonna do with your time? And also, it's like, it's really sad because the character essentially lives through the death of her companions, and then I guess in a way she's nostalgically chasing the past. And it's just interesting to see how new characters come into her life, and yet she keeps wistfully looking back at a very particular point in her life. So it kind of goes to show that, life is really lived in the small things. It's not in the big milestones, even though milestones are important, but at the end of the day, it's the accumulation of all of these small moments, right? Each morning, you make your breakfast, your coffee, right? All of those are important, but we don't really think of it that way. We keep living for something grand, but it never really comes. Those are rare and far in between, right? So I think it's quite interesting. It also, I feel, is very relevant in the age of social media, because we're always chasing and comparing to other people's highlights, and we don't really live in the in-between. So yeah, I think we've lost some of that state of, like, alignment, that state of flow, partially because we're all super distracted, right? We're inundated with distraction, whether it be through our phones. It's really just like a portal to dissociate at this point. And they're so strategically engineered to suck our attention span, right? And I do say this as I'm streaming online. The irony is not lost on me. But as for myself, I feel like, I have a particularly isolating hobby, which is painting. And it's my one way of feeling like I could maybe connect to others. No different than if I were painting, let's say on the street, but maybe in the more comfortable setting. And people can just kind of walk by my studio space and pop in and have a little conversation, right? So that's kind of how I see this whole live streaming process. If I'm gonna be doing art anyway, I might as well maybe, grow an audience, meet some friends, etc. But anyway, yeah, going back to the whole thing of the show, right? What is it? What is a life worth lived? Like how do you measure time? How do you measure meaning, right? How do you make a life count? And also, how do you know when it's happening in front of you, right? Because you never know when it's going to be something important until you look back, right? It's a little bit of like a gratitude thing. So yeah, I like the anime. I can't wait to see what season 2 has in store. I haven't yet finished season 1, but I think I'm getting close to the ending. So yeah, pretty much. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not anti-technology, but I do feel like we as a society have gotten to the point of excess, and we're due for course correction. It used to be the saying, do it for the gram, right? And you do kind of get, when you start posting regularly, you do kind of start seeing like opportunities for, oh, this could be content. But it's like, when does the content lens, give way for you to live your life, right? Your whole life can't be a stage, And I feel like reclaiming some aspect of that is what's driving people to disconnect, trying to reclaim the intentionality of what parts are they willing to share with the world, So I don't know. It's interesting to see how people's opinions are changing. And then don't even get me started on our relationship with tech now that AI has really started to make waves. Beyond the ethical, the environmental, and also, the impacts of AI on education, right? Everyone is kinda not using the necessary cognitive faculties, right? It's, I don't know, humans are lazy, so it worries me that somehow we're gonna lose essential skills. And unless we are guardians of the craft, so to speak, in skill, right, being able to pass on those skills, they're gonna be lost within a generation. I was watching the other day a video about how kids don't know how to like write like paragraphs anymore. Like there's just been a huge watering down of like rigor and difficulty at the school level. And eventually kids grow up, right? Every 12 years, that's a whole new generation being pumped out. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, things are kind of scary. And I think I saw another video where I think Australia was like, yeah, we're gonna ban social media for anyone under 16, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it's a Pandora's box. Like, I remember back in ye old times of Facebook, right? that came out when I was a middle schooler, and it was not sophisticated, you know. It was very, very, very bare bones, and you know, I guess it was novel because of the whole photo sharing ability, you know. But truly, like, it wasn't anything too crazy. Like, you had music, and you were able to like reply and comment on people's posts. And then of course, you know, we had the book app, right? And and then we got Insta, and then we got, well, for a little bit we got the Snap, right? And I am kind of shortening the names of some of these because I am streaming on the Black app, and I don't want to get dinged. But you know, we had a whole bunch of different things pop up over the years, and yeah, I mean, we didn't really know how sophisticated it was gonna get. And of course, once people realized that you could just advertise like crazy to people and mine everything for data, well, it became even more incentive to get people living more digitally than in person. And then obviously we had COVID happen, and that was a time where we were forced online. We had no other choice, right? And a lot of bad habits stuck for some people, you know. Some people went into hermitude, and it's just been kind of hard. People also, I feel like these days, are so quick to make plans, and you know, we're quick to make plans, and then we cancel them at the last second because whatever, we didn't really feel like going, right? We make excuses. But the problem is, like, you lose the village, you know, if no one makes the effort, right? If all of us are just completely in our little bubbles. It's like the saying says, everyone wants a village, no one wants to be a villager. But, you know, I think there is like a wave of people that are slowly trying to like make community and, you know, like make social media actually work for us to do what it was originally intended to do, which is bring people together, right? Not just distract us, not just give us, you know, funny animal videos or whatever, right? Not not have rage baits and arguments. Okay? But I feel like we might actually be getting to something a little bit more useful, right? Beyond just sharing pictures and, you know, what it was originally back in like 2010. Because let's see, it's been 15 years now. And then, of course, you also have to consider how technology has evolved, right? So smartphones weren't really a thing, and you know, they kind of both went hand in hand, because once you have in the palm of your hand essentially a micro supercomputer, then your access to online explodes. Prior to smartphones, you had to sit down at a desktop or carry one of these very, very, very heavy um you know, laptops around, and no one was really going to be at a party with a laptop, right? But when you made them small, fit in the palm of your hand, well, right, now it just becomes irresistible. It's too much access, essentially. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right, how technology has shaped human interaction. And you know, I like I said, I love tech, but I do agree that we could probably swing to more in-person things, right? These are just lessons with every new adaptation though. Every time there's something new, there's always an adjustment period. Because you don't see the negatives immediately, right? They're not evident until time has passed. And then hopefully people catch on, right? And do something about it. But unfortunately, sometimes it takes a lot of bad things happening for things to kind of like change. So we're kind of getting to the tipping point, right? Where it's no longer worth the headache, so to speak. And welcome, and that's my TED Talk, right? What is it? Welcome to my TED Talk, talking about technology and how we're all sick of, I guess, being chronically online and sold things to. Because that's the other thing. It's like adpocalypse now. Everything is, hey, do you want to buy this? No. Right. Everyone's hustling too because things are expensive. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can probably do like one glaze of green to see how this shows up. I'm gonna keep just layering this in. And then I'll give it a pass with green. Little by little. Did my music stop? Where is my music? There we go. I'm kinda getting hungry. What time is it? It's 12:21. What can I have for a snack? Snack. What can I have for snack? I can have a Rice Krispie. Can have a piece of jerky. I can have a banana. String cheese. What do I want? I can have a cup of milk. Ooh, I do have those little brie bites. Those are good. Again, at this point, I'm just kind of adding this because I'm gonna give another passive green over it, and it's gonna blend really nicely. Might need to switch to a slightly smaller brush as I start to do detail work. Okay, so now I gotta wait for the grass to dry. And I'm gonna get a little snacky. Although I think right around now is when the puzzle pops up, so I'm gonna do a dash after. Yeah, I'm hungry. Let me get my little sign ready. Okay. Yeah. Probably in a couple minutes it'll be like fully dry. I didn't give it such a heavy layer. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here real quick and make a mad dash. Be right back. Okay. Alrighty. So I ended up getting a cup of milk and Ritz. Oh, it's so chilly downstairs. It's like 42 degrees outside, maybe. Let's see. What is the weather all like outside? Why did Photoshop activate? That's weird. I don't know. It's cold outside. Ugh. So I got some Ritz. I'm gonna do a little bit of ASMR. I washed my hands of any possible paint I could have had. And then I got myself a cup of milk. It's this is like, it's been a while since I've ever had like full fat, right? Whole milk, whatever you want to call it. It tastes weird. Like a whole cup of this stuff is like 27% saturated fat. I am not used to that. I'm not used to that at all. Alright. ASMR. Ritz. This is probably gonna sound like very crunchy on the mic. I can probably move the mic closer. Haha. Crunchy. Delicious. Here we go. Oh no. My cat. I forgot he likes Ritz. Hi. The puzzle thing showed up, but I don't know where it is. Where is it? Did I get closed? Uh-oh. Whoops. I'm gonna try. That's strange. I kind of like crashed on TikTok. I was trying to do the puzzle, but I couldn't find the window. Hmm. Archie, I gave you a Ritz cracker. What do you want? Look, it's on the floor. Here, toma. Eat that. Toma. What do you want? Mmm. I'm trying to reboot, but I don't know what's going on over here. At least I'm still running on the other two apps. Oh, how interesting. It allowed me to continue the live. What? What is going on? Interesting. But it did reset the timer. I'm not sure what that's about. Is my mic on? Yep. Alright, that's kind of weird. Nom, nom. You guys can't quite see, but my cat is being super cute. He likes to hang out down there, but I'm gonna have to kick him out because I can't afford to have paint fall on his fur coat. Archie, you can't be here. Archie, you want to say something? Say something. Meow meow. Say meow meow. Hey, what's up, Albert? You see what I have to deal with? He already tried to poach. Where is it?
Hi.
He tried to poach one of my Ritz crackers. It's a little baby. Oh, you giving kiss? Oh God, there he goes, biting. Why you bite? Why you bite? Yeah, he's a big fluff ball. I'm taking a little break right now. I got hungry. What's next do you eat, Albert?
I have one sleeping on me right now.
Do you have pictures of the kitty cat on your page?
What do I eat?
Yeah, when you get hungry on your lives. For me, it's like usually either crackers or Ritz. Well, I guess that's a form of cracker. Or Rice Krispie. That's what I munch on. Nom, nom, nom. Nummy, nummy, nummy. I'm probably gonna eat maybe 2 more and then I'll get back to work. Crunch, crunch.
Is it restricting my comments?
I don't know. I was wondering what you were gonna write. The filter's been a little weird since last week. I don't know, they're always changing it on this app. Bruh. Half of these crackers are busted. They're all like broken.
I wrote 2 comments that I didn't hear.
I didn't see them. That's weird. You can give it another try. I got dust. Look at this, they're all broken up. Where's the camera? Like, what is this?
I eat after my live is ended.
I usually do 2 hours, but I got the late night munchies. Well, that's probably because I exercised, so it's been, yeah, maybe 3 hours since, so it's about right. Thank you. Alright, let me get this cat out of here so acrylic paint doesn't fall on him. Come here, darling. You cannot be here. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I am off to bed. I just wanted to stop by real quick.
Oh, can you see him? Say hello, Archie. Say hello to Albert. Alrighty. Have a good night.
Hello, kitty.
Alrighty. Let me just kind of throw this out. And resume work.
Okay, good night.
Ciao.
Looking good, by the way.
Thanks, I'm about 10 hours in. Alright, here I go. Let me spritz my palette.
ya.
Alrighty. See ya. Have a good night. Alright, so I'm grabbing my light green. Oh my god, I gotta be super careful not to dip it into my cup of milk. That would be disastrous. Alrighty. So I got my green, light green over here, and I'm just kind of gonna go over all these areas that I painted a yellow. Archie, you watching Mama paint? I'm sorry you can't be under my easel. I can't afford to give you a bath right now. He's like, Mom, but I want to be an artist. Okay. I kind of like how this came out. Nice, soft. And I have to get more of this light green on my palette soon. I feel like I haven't put enough paint down here. What you looking at, Archie? You looking at mommy paint? He's like, Mother, why are we not in bed? This light green is quite transparent, so I can easily see the yellow that I placed underneath it. Kind of really have to layer it on pretty thick to cover it up, but I don't want to. Da, 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 da. I like, oops, too much. I was gonna say that I like the contrast between the red of the horse and the green of the grass, but the thing is that this horse is a little bit more like cooler, at least on the shadows, which is like on this area. But I'm pretty sure with this nice beautiful chestnut red base, even when I start to do the shadows, I'm gonna get this like beautiful peeking through of warmth. And actually, I really, 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 really want to do like violet, like purpley violet shadows. And I think it's just gonna look gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. Like the shadow with the red warm peeking through, like yeah, I can't wait. No, Archie, you can't. No, no. Oh my god, he keeps wanting to lay down here. Baby, no, you can't be here. Let me get his basket. That way he can be in the basket. Come on. Come on, basket. Hey, come here. Hey. Come on. I brought your basket. Dale. Mueve. Mueve la naga. Vamos. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Complain. There we go. Poor baby. It's like the heart wants what the heart wants. And I'm like, no, you can't be there. But Mom. I get it. I get it. Bro, I'm putting my legs here so you can't like get in. If I don't shoo him away, he's gonna do this out of habit. And one day, catastrophe will strike. And he will get a ton of paint on him. And then I have to chase a very white cat full of paint, which he cannot eat, right? He cannot lick off his coat. And it's gonna have to be an emergency bath. And I am not about that life. I'm like, no, thank you. It pains me to move him from underneath my easel, but that is not for kitty cats. It's like firm boundaries. It's like, I'm parenting my cat. Yeah. I wonder if any of like the people that are on YouTube really do stick for the entire length of the recording, and they're just listening to me talk to myself about the randomest things. I guess, right? I hope I'm entertaining. Ha. Talking about my cats. I'm getting lost in the sauce. I kind of wish I hadn't done the horse's tail because, oh my god, these spaces in between are so annoying. This is why you always work from the back towards the front. The grass here is mostly unobstructed, so it's not really like a big deal, even though it's like in the front. But my god, it's annoying in some parts. Will I commit this mistake in the future? Yes, I will. But learn from my mistakes. That feels nice. And little by little, you know, I'm just kind of layering as best I can. Ay, horsetail. And the thing is, like, you know, if I'm not actively working in between this area, it's gonna look off. Because everywhere else is gonna have all these layers except here, so I gotta be mindful of that and just, you know, get smaller brushes or whatever. Ah, my cat's drinking water. I can hear the automatic faucet running. I have this really great thing called an aquapur. A lifesaver. It is the absolute best way for cats to drink water. And it's literally just something that you connect either at a sink or you connect it through the toilet's water line. But I'm not a paid sponsor in this. I'm just a very, very, very techie cat mama. And I love the aquapur. The fact that it's straight water from the pipe and there's no filters, like, I don't have to clean that thing. It is maintenance free. Like, it's an on-demand tap, separate, just for my cats. So anytime that I have people come over to my house, they look at it and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, it's my cat's water fountain, or aquapur. And they're intrigued and they're like, what? But it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's about $100. But the fact that I don't have to clean the gunk from all of the parts of a water fountain thingy, like, yeah, worth the money. 100 times over. Every single time. I will rather not go out if it means that I could give that to my pets. And the thing with cats is, like, a lot of them, you know, they pass away because their kidneys, they start to accumulate kind of like toxins. They don't drink enough water, period. And so part of the challenge is getting them to drink. And my cats have since they were very little, right? Since I brought them home, they've been drinking from this thing. And honestly, they're so spoiled now, because whenever I've had to, like, disconnect it to move houses and I've given them, like, water bowls in between moves, they have pitched a fit. Like, sure, they'll drink eventually, but, like, you can tell they're not happy about it. And yeah. I mean, in my house, we have the fountain, right? The aquapur that I told you. We have the litter robot, right? An automatic litter box thing. And we also have automatic kibble feeders. So it's pretty techy, right? Pretty techy up in here. But if I had to pick one in terms of, like, annoying, cleaning out the water fountain is the most annoying, but also the most important to their health. Because chronic dehydration will kill a cat's kidneys. You know, they get crystals, and then it's like an emergency surgery. I already lived through that with one of my cats, and I was like, never again. They're now on a special diet to help prevent crystals forming and whatnot, so I don't play around with that. It was a very, very, very kind of like expensive surgery to clear it out. and yeah, it's life-threatening, so you can't really, you gotta pony up. So yeah, we're super crazy about making sure they drink water and stuff. Yep, my babies. Delicioso. Dun, 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 dun. I should probably get a smaller brush. Starting to get into these little tiny details. At this point, I'm not even really looking too much at the reference. Like, if I wanted it to be photorealistic, I could literally I could literally do this painstakingly, but I don't know, right? I mean, the whole point is to look at your reference and just kind of get a general like vibe, I guess, of where things are, and then it's up to your artistic skill to come up with the interpretation, right? So I'm looking at the graphs on my reference and I see the pattern more or less, and I mean, I could try to go for like realistic, like, okay, here is a patch of grass that's lighter, this one's darker, but at that point I just feel like I'm a photocopy, like the photograph's already doing, right? It's its own art form. So what am I, a painter, doing in addition to what's already in the photograph, right? And mind you, this is a composition, not sorry. This is a compilation of 3 different photographs. The horse is one, the cat is another, and then you have the entirety of the landscape behind them. So yeah, I kind of smushed them together in a photo editing app. There are 3 different photos, but even beyond that, I wouldn't want to try to, I used to at one point think like, oh, photorealism, wow. Photorealism is great when you're learning the skill, right? When you're studying a photograph to try to figure out how to do something, right? That's great. But this is not, this is a commission, right, that I offered to do. And I'm pretty sure if they wanted a regular photo, well, they have photos of their animals. So, what is my role as an artist? And I guess in a way it's kind of like, we breathe life into a painting, right? Our interpretation. What does my mind see, and also what is the aesthetic sense, right? I feel like that's what I bring to this. Don't get me wrong, there is something to be said about, you know, your studies, right? Like I said, skill building, but I mean, at one point, once you get past the wow, it's so realistic. Like, okay, you just recreated a photograph. You know, I don't know. There has to be more to it than that, right? At least that's what I think. Am I somewhat bashing all of those artists that do hyper realistic? Yes, I am a little. Just slightly, just slightly. No hate, no hate. But I don't know. I guess once you've seen one, you've seen them all, you know? Like you know, what else? What else is there? You know? Oh, you drank water. I see your face is full of water droplets. Come here. Get over here. Michi. He's meowing to let me know that it's time for me to go to bed. No. Go sleep with your dad. He's sleeping. He's a mama's boy. He's like, Mother, why are you not in bed? It is not time for bed yet. I've literally only put maybe 3 colors on my palette for this session. Oh, see, I forgot to add a little bit of that green over here. Next. That will be next. I hope this is creating enough grassy-like texture. It always takes forever. You know, textures are painstakingly tedious. I will probably paint for maybe another 15 minutes, I believe. Let me wipe your face. There you go. Okay, I'm switching over to a finer tip paintbrush. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave this alone for a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a little bit more shading in between before I start putting in more pines and stuff. Yeah, I think I need like maybe if I lighten this up a little bit, water it. Hmm. No, 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 no. Hold up. There we go. Almost, but not quite. Naughty painting. I wanted to commit seppuku over there. Alrighty, I think I will call it quits for tonight. That's a good place to end. Alright, everyone. Thank you for everyone who stopped by and supported me. Appreciate it very much. And stay tuned for next time.